In this video, we will quickly see how to use a GoPro camera, a GoPro 13. And as you can see just right here, there is a power button. So if you press that button, it will turn on the camera. And if you press it again, it will switch mode. So you switch between time-lapse, video, and photo. And then it restarts. You can also use that button to power off the camera, but you have to hold it. There you go. Power off. There's only other one button, and it's the record button. You can use that button while the camera is on, but you can also use it while it's off. So just like that, instead of turning on the camera, you turn it on and start video recording right away. If you press it just right now, because we turn on the camera like that, you will have two options. Press it again to start another video. Press the mode button to keep the camera on, or do nothing. You see the option where just right here. Or do nothing, wait 5 seconds, and it will turn off the camera. I do it again. Press that button. It turn on the camera, and if I stop the recording and I want to keep it on, I just press that power button here, and now the camera remain on. We are onto the video mode, as we can see just right here. We can also switch between mode by swiping to the left or to the right, like that. And here there's some features. We will see that a bit later. What I want to do first is to switch the camera here. Oh, what I did, I swipe down and go to the right page. And I want to switch this to Pro mode, like that. It doesn't make the camera more complicated to use, it just gives you more options. But just right now, you can use that record button and record pretty much anything, and it will be fine. You can also do that into photo and everything. And really, you have a working camera. So the Pro mode gives us this feature just right here that let us access to many other features. So from here, you can choose your video profile, standard, HDR, or log. I personally record in standard, but you can also go in HDR for high dynamic. This will give you more details in the whites and the black, the darker and the clearer region of the image, but it may look a bit more fake. You can also go into log. This will record a flat image, but will give you way more options in terms of editing your video. Framing, you can record in 16:9, which is a regular video mode. You can record in 9:16, which is vertical, 4:3 or 8:7 if you want to record square or on all the sensor. You can choose your video resolution between 1080 and 5.3K. Personally, I record in 4K 30 frames per second. Some will like better 24, and if you want to film at a higher frame rate, if you want to do some slow motion, you can do that over here. I personally record on the here linear plus horizon lock, so it's always level and the image is not or it's less distorted. I keep the hyper smooth on because that's a feature that I like about this camera. And here you've got some features. Really just go into here and it explain what they are doing. You got a zoom, you got a timer. The inside is a feature that will start recording few seconds before you press the button. So basically it's just record all the time. And when you hit the record button, it keeps what was in the 15 or 30 seconds past. You can put a maximum duration of your recording or things like that. You can choose your bit rate. If you want to go in 10-bit, you can do it over here. Bit rate Standard or high will give you much more details to play with in terms of color and all those kind of things. You can choose manually the speed of the shutter or just leave it to auto. EV-Com, if you think your image is generally too dark. Actually, this is the ISO. EV-Com. Right. If you want something brighter or darker, you can play with it over here or just leave it to 0. Normally it does quite a great job. Got audio settings right here, and you can choose the shortcuts that you want to have on the main screen. If there is something over here you want to access more often, you can select it just right here and it will be replaced on the main page right here. Those are the shortcuts. You can have access again to your video settings right here, and you can create new presets for something if you'd like to switch to something you use often. Time lapse. Okay, so time warp, basically the idea is that you leave your camera somewhere and it will take a picture every few seconds and will create something very accelerated. By default, you can just leave it just like that, press the record button, and it will do a time warp. Here you've got the time of your final video, but we should look at the settings of what we get. And for this, we will go into this feature over here. And to adjust it, you see we are into time warp. We need to press that menu button just beside it. And we have access to features, but I don't know why, but the time warp is more limited into the option we really want to deep dive into it. So this is why I prefer to use the, just right here, it says the night time-lapse video, and you don't need to be at night to use that feature, because when you go here, what we were missing was the interval. So we can select at every how much second we want to have a photo. So the lower here is 4 seconds. Quite weirdly, we can have something quicker, and it's poorly made. It's really poorly made. This one inside the time warp would be expressed as 8x, so times 8, and now it's 4 seconds, but we've got a time 2, which would be 2 pictures per second, but we don't have access it over here, which is a bit stupid. But anyway, what you can do over here is to select at, for example, I want a picture at every 10 seconds, but you can also choose the shutter speed. You can leave it at auto, but you can bring it up to 30 seconds if you really want to see the stars in the sky or create some effect. So yeah, maybe also the basic one, time warp, might be useful. If you go over here, we get the capture and speed 2x, and it says 1 minute of recording create 30 seconds of time warp video. I just think it's poorly. There's better way to express it. You also got other mode like star trails, light painting, video lights. They kind of bit of the same. The idea is that they create really some kind of light painting, and for some scenario it can be interesting to use. And finally, over here you've got the photo mode where you can take photo. That's it. So yeah, that's how to use the GoPro. It's not more complicated than that. Don't forget you have access to some menu over here. Play with it. It's not so complicated to use, but you don't really need to deep dive into those features. There's one that I always change. I think it's in general LEDs, and I set it to back only, and I would like to set it just all off, and this will turn off the red LED that is just right here when you're recording. And why I think it's important, it's because when you are recording in front of a window, you always see that blinking red light into your video, and it kind of ruined the shot. So yeah, I hope this was helpful.